Okay, we've been in Portland here for about 2 weeks, and it's taken most of that time for me to set up the home theater that we had built into this new house that we just now occupied. This theater was built ab initio as a home theater, so it doesn't have any windows, which gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of what type of video system you could use because you don't have to worry about ambient light. Let's start with some of the features of the room itself. You can see that it has dark walls and a dark carpet. That's to minimize ambient light and reflections from the projected light on the screen. The room is sort of soundproof. I don't think it's like what you'd see in a professional recording studio, but there were some measures taken to reduce the transmission of sound through the walls. We'll start with the door. The door is actually sealed on all the way around with some weather stripping like stuff, and that reduces a lot of the noise. The outlets that face the inside of the house, like this one down here, they actually put a putty-like material around the boxes so sound wouldn't transmit through the outlet boxes into the next room. So some thought went into that, and I think it does work really well, with the exception of the subwoofer that I'll talk about later. The room is very small. There are a lot of restrictions on building in Portland. There's a lot of restrictions on square footage, so you really have to be careful with how you use the allotted amount of square footage for the house. So this is a pretty small room. However, it does seat 3 people very comfortably, and they can see the screen and listen to the sound, and it sounds really great. Margaret did all the furnishings. It was her idea to build a riser, so the couch is up about a foot from the floor, and each of the 3 sections of the couch has an electric recliner. It's really comfortable. So it's like sitting in a real high-end theater with reclining seats. The individual seats, there are 3 of those down here in the front, and they don't recline, but they're still quite comfortable. Let's over here take a look at ancillary features. I have a few little beginning of some decor in here with some posters. The wet bar, very convenient. It occurred to me after doing this that somebody that's still into film photography could make this into a great darkroom because you don't have to worry about any light leaks. I mean, it's absolutely totally dark when you turn the lights out, and it's plumbed, and you have a good amount of counter space. So somebody that's still into that, they could move right in here and get to work developing film like in the old days. There also has a microwave, and there is a little refrigerator down here too. So as you might expect, these were Margaret's ideas, but I certainly endorse them. Now around this, the sound system is configured for Dolby 7.1.4, which is Dolby Atmos. So you have the traditional 5 speakers around. So here's 2 in the back over here. And then as you go around, you'll see there's box speakers on either side. These are the surround speakers, the traditional surround speakers for Dolby 5.1, which was the kind of the first Dolby surround sound configuration. And then up here, so here's the other surround speaker here. And then up front you have the mains, so the tower speakers. All the speakers are Klipsch audio. And I bought them all as a system except for the ones on the back. And those I bought separately because they didn't have a package where you could buy 7.1. So there's the front speakers. Down here you have the
subwoofer, and I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be powerful enough because it is kind of small. I really like a big 15-inch subwoofer, but this one absolutely shakes the house, and that's really the only thing that you can hear outside the home theater with it cranked up. The soundproofing works really well except for that, but you simply can't keep the house from resonating with those really low frequencies. Now the 7, that's 7.1, the 1 is a subwoofer, the 7 are the speakers all around, but then how about the 4, which makes it Dolby Atmos? And that is, there are 4 speakers that are built into the ceiling, which are those white pads there. They're built in and they were pre-wired in. So there's 4 of those. So 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos. In terms of the electronics, everything, all the signals go through the AV receiver. This is a Sony AV receiver. And it's in their top of the line, their ES line. It cost about $2,000, so I think it's pretty good value. The cost of these relative to their function has really come down over the last 20 years. So this one's capable of outputting 7.1.4. You can get a more expensive model that outputs 9.1.4, but I didn't think I really needed 6 speakers in the ceiling in a room this small, so I just stuck with this one. So all the signal goes through here. So right now we stream with an Apple TV. So that takes the Wi-Fi internet signal and streams video or audio, whatever you want, through that. So that's one input going into the receiver. And then down here on top you have a little off-the-air TV tuner. It's an inexpensive little thing, but quite capable. It's cost about $35 from Amazon. And then down here you have the disc player, and it plays 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray disc, standard Blu-ray disc, DVDs, CDs, just anything that fits in that disc format. So that's 3 inputs going into the receiver. The receiver's capable of taking in 6 HDMI inputs, so we're using just 3. The Apple TV for streaming, the over-the-air tuner, and the disc player. So the receiver processes all those signals and outputs them in 4K video through that HDMI cable right there to this ultra short throw projector. And this is really a great option for small rooms because you don't have to take up, I mean, there's really, the ceiling is too low to put a traditional projector is hanging from the ceiling. So you'd have to put a traditional projector on a table or something in the middle of the room, and that would block all the viewing. So this was really the best solution. It gives a great image. This is kind of they tend to be more pricey than traditional projectors. This one cost about $3,000. There's a $6,000 model, which is, the only difference is it's brighter, and I don't need, this is plenty bright for a windowless room with no ambient light. The screen was probably the best value. You can spend thousands of dollars on screens. This one cost about $200 from Amazon. And we had to put it together, and that was a very difficult task. It's almost impossible for one person to do it. For 2 people to work together, it's doable, but it's still, it's quite a chore. It took me part of one day and part of another day to put it together. It's a 110-inch diagonal projection screen. Now, there's nothing special about it. It's just a white surface, but it gives a plenty bright image in a room like this. And down here we have the center speaker. Ideally, that should go above the screen, but the ceiling was just too low and there's no room for it. I couldn't put it in front of the projector because the projector has to be a specific distance from the screen, and there wasn't enough room to put the speaker there, so I ended up putting it up front here. But surprisingly enough, even I watched a movie so far sitting in this chair, and it's still a great sound experience. So anyway, it's kind of weird to be in my 70s, and this is the first time I built a home theater, because I've always been interested in this for many, many years. And it's great to finally be able to do it. And I look forward to a lot of fun movie watching experiences and other entertainment. Y'all take care.